Hey everyone, and good afternoon. Rich and I just wanted to connect with you before the weekend to talk about the severe weather potential going into Saturday. We have some flooding that is possible, but also some modes of severe weather later Saturday evening. But Rich, thanks for staying a little bit after today to jump on this. I know you're going to go out and patrol like me this evening. But again, we needed to find some time to connect with all of our residents. So everyone watching right now, about 33 of you watching live, welcome to the broadcast. And Rich and I will just get right into it. What to expect, that heavy rain that's going to possibly lead to a significant flooding threat for our area. Thankfully, it's a little bit more north of the greatest risk, but we are still in that risk area and under a flood watch. Then that'll occur early Saturday morning. We'll have a break in the afternoon. Later Saturday evening, there is a line of storms that's supposed to come through with the potential for all modes of severe weather. So this is that time that you just want to get with your family, go over your safety plans for your home, whatever you do in severe weather, so everyone is just on the same page as we get really into severe weather season with springtime around the corner. Uh, Looking at the onset of rain for the flooding type rain that's supposed to happen for our area. It could start anywhere Saturday morning between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. And again, this is just a graphic showing the greatest concern of flooding, which is right there just north of Mount Juliet. And Mount Juliet is circled in that green. So they predict we'll get anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain. And if we get on that higher end of it, we could see some flash flooding in our community, but we could also see some flooding related to the creeks that we have. Stoners Creek, Cedar Creek in our community could flood. Hopefully, we don't have that. But if you live near any of those low-lying areas where we have our creeks, just be aware. And if your property has flooded in the past, know that there is a risk of that going into the weekend. Of course, if there's anything that you need from us, if it starts flooding, get dangerous, please call us, and we're going to send a team out there to help you get through that. Our fire department has rescue equipment to help you, and we've done that in the past as our police department as well. But again, the timing for this for our area, really in the early morning times, around that 5 a.m. time frame. But all of Middle Tennessee, the timing is from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sunday, where we just have the constant rain throughout the day. And have us in that medium high chance of flooding, and that's why we are already under a flood watch for our community. Because the Weather Service does predict we'll have several rivers, creeks, and streams will reach the action stage, and some will even exceed into flood stage. Again, mainly for a lot of our rivers, the northwest section, the Clarksville area, some of those rivers are expected to go out of its banks. And you just want to be weather aware. And again, we just wanted to jump on just to let you know. But Rich, you have some good tips about the flooding potential. If it does start to flood, if we start to see those flash floods in our community, what are some tips just to keep everyone safe?
Yeah, for sure, Deputy Chief, and folks, don't take it for granted. When you do see those high waters coming up quick, turn around, don't drown. It doesn't just apply to cars. If you're out walking in your neighborhood and you come across a flooded area, don't be walking through it either, because as you can see on this graphic from the Weather Service, 6 inches of fast-moving water can definitely knock a full-grown adult over and wash you away. It is not a safe situation. And 12 inches can move a car. 18 to 24 inches can move an SUV and a truck. So it can very easily get you swiped down the road and make a bad situation even worse. And then, of course, we'll get involved. The fire department get involved. And of course, we'll do our best to help you out. But try not to put yourself in that situation to begin with. So just turn around, don't drown, makes it safer and easier for everybody. And of course, when you do think you're going to be involved in a flooding situation such as this, when you get your warnings and watches ahead of time, try and do your best to stay out of those areas, because especially if it's going to be happening at night, like this event potentially will be, flooding at night can be a lot more difficult to deal with. It's a lot harder to see. The lighting conditions are so much different. So what during the day might be easier to see, and see might be a little more shallow, for example. At night, the area might look shallow, but it's really a lot deeper and a lot more swift moving. So the lighting conditions make a heck of a lot of difference in what the flooding conditions might actually look like.
Yeah, and Rich, through our tenure here at the department, we've seen flooding situations throughout. Thankfully, it's not often, but we have seen those moments where Division Street flooded, where Old Lebanon Dirt Road was flooded, even Mount Juliet Road, where Stoner Creek came out of its banks and flooded through Valley Center right across Mount Juliet Road. And then I've seen Cedar Creek out on the Golden Bear Gateway side of the community come out of its banks and flood the roadway. We've seen cars go into floodwaters. We've seen situations where EMA and our fire department, even our officers, have had to rescue people from their homes, out of their cars, where we've seen these floodwaters. And all of that could have been prevented, right? As the floodwater was coming up closer to the property, it should have been a good time to get out of your home. Of course, folks who are driving their cars should not have drove into the water that was covering the roadway, right? And so anytime you have water covering the road, you just want to turn around. That saying, turn around, don't drown, so you don't find yourself in a dangerous situation. Of course, if it happens, we're going to get there as quick as we can. Our fire department's going to get there as quick as we can, do everything we can to help you through that. And thankfully, we've been successful through all my years here, helping people through those moments. But you just want to stay away from floodwaters. They can come up quickly, especially if we have a large burst of heavy rain that just continues to rise. One problem, going into the storm system that we're having is a lot of the ground is already saturated with the rain that we've had this week. So anything that falls is really just going to cause a lot of runoff and not be soaked up by the ground. That's why the Weather Service is concerned about some flooding issues in Middle Tennessee. Again, we don't know exactly where that's going to happen, right? We're looking at a weather forecast, and they're looking at all the data and the scientific things that the weather forecasters do to determine how best to give warnings out. But when we know our area does have a risk, we do have a flood watch for our area, we just want to jump on here again and communicate with you some safety tips, just so you can be safe. And just know that we're going to be out monitoring it as well. And should we begin to have events in our community, we're going to continue to update you through our MJ alert system that we have available to you, which is our text alerts. If you're not registered, we're going to tell you how to register for those text alerts soon. Also this weekend, Saturday evening, even though we have that flooding threat throughout the day, we're going to have a break in the afternoon, maybe even some sunshine in the afternoon. But then later that evening, we're going to have a storm line come through that has the potential for damaging winds with gusts up to 60 miles per hour, even tornadoes and hail up to 1 inch. So be mindful of that. And this is where you want to talk with your family about your safety plan. Where do you go in your home to stay safe? And our area is outlined in the slight chance area. So kind of right there in the middle. So it's something we just need to be weather aware and ready to act should any warnings hit for us with the storm. And the timing for that line that's coming through is, again, more in the evening. We're in the number 2 section of this map, and they're telling us anywhere between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. So that'll be Saturday night that we could see the thunderstorm timing. And Rich has some tips for us what to do to stay safe if we do get that tornado warning or even a severe weather warning for our community.
Yeah, and really, we're not in peak severe weather season yet, but here in Tennessee, it can happen just about any time. So always got to be weather aware. Always got to have your plans ready. Always got to know where to go. Here's a great graphic from the Weather Service showing you the kind of the best of worst options of places to go, places to be during those bad situations, tornadoes, severe thunderstorms, etc. Some of the worst places out in under the overpasses. It's always been a kind of an old wives' tale. Get up under an overpass. Bad thing about that is that you have a lot more pressure under that overpass. The wind and the pressure will get you and suck you right out from under that overpass. Staying in your vehicle, staying in your mobile homes, those are some of the worst places to be. You want to be able to get out of those places and get down and low as best as possible, or get into a stronger structure. Slightly better option is if you're going to be inside of some manufactured homes and you don't have any other places to go, get to the interior as best you can. Any of these options, whatever you have available to you, get as far inside of the building as you can, away from the exterior walls, away from the exterior windows. Think of your building like an onion. If you're going to picture peeling away those layers, that's what that tornado or that severe storm is going to do. If it's got straight line winds and it's not a true tornado, whatever is going to come at you, it's going to peel those layers away off like an onion. So the farther into the interior of that building you can get, the better and safer you're going to be. When you get inside that interior of that well-built structure, make sure to always have something like a couple of blankets, or if you have a bike helmet, Take your weather radio if you have it. Make sure your cell phones are charged up. Take them with you, and make sure you get into those places where it's really strong and really solid. If you have a bathtub, you can get in an interior bathroom, for example. Places like that. Just think kind of outside the box of what's inside the center of your structure, or your home, or if you're in an apartment complex, perhaps an interior hallway. Just kind of think of the onion of the building that you're in, and think of kind of where you can go that'll be safest in a place like that.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. And for those who are not registered, MJ Alert, get registered for that. That is our text alert system where any of us can send emergency alerts from our department, from our dispatch center, Rich, myself, whatever's going on in our community. We can quickly update you through our text alert system about things that are happening. Now, we send out a lot of alerts about crashes, road closures, police incidents where we are searching for suspects, whatever it may be. But again, if we have severe weather impacting our community, we're going to let you know too. And then, of course, keep you updated throughout that severe weather event and whatever impacts it has after that. Super easy to register. Just go to your phone, text the letters MJ to the phone number 67283, and then you'll get a response back that you are immediately registered for that as well. So just be mindful. We're here for you. We don't do these updates to get you stressed out about anything. But of course, since we're forecasted for this severe weather, we just want to let you know that we are monitoring it too, but also we care about you. We want you to be informed. We want you to keep your family safe should we have any severe weather warnings or severe weather in our community. Rich, what do you got on the forecast there?
Yeah, so looking at the 7-day forecast coming up, it's showing that that area shaded in yellow there is the flood watch that you were talking about through the weekend. And I tell you, looking at the full 7-day, we're kind of looking at a little bit of a roller coaster with the temperatures. Saturday we're looking in the mid 60s during the day and down in the low to mid 30s overnight, and kind of that kind of range of temperatures throughout the weekend and in the early next week. And then if you look all the way into Tuesday, they're already calling for a chance of snow Tuesday and Wednesday, kind of long term. So it's going to be an interesting next 7 to 8 days. But coming up on Monday, it's going to be a pretty sunny day for President's Day, extra day off of work and school for some of us. So Monday is going to be a nice day to kind of take a breather and relax from the interesting roller coaster weekend that we've got ahead of us.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for that. And Rich, isn't there an event coming up for those who want to learn a little bit more about severe weather that the Weather Service puts on?
There is, yeah. Shout out to the National Weather Service. They do this event once a year. It's called Severe Weather Awareness Day. This year, it's going to be coming up on February 22nd. They do it every year over at Trevecca Nazarene University. This year, it's from 9 to 4. You can go to the website there that you see on the screen, weather.gov/OHX/SWAD. SWAD is Severe Weather Awareness Day. You can go there for all the information and sign up. It's a free event. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the local TV meteorologists will be there. A lot of the gang from the National Weather Service office will be there. It's a lot of fun. Lots of kid-friendly stuff, interactive stuff. They will often have a green screen set up there, so you can kind of take your turn learning how to be a TV meteorologist, and they show you what it looks like. It's a lot of fun. I go to that every year, and it's open to all different skill levels and learning levels. And if you've never had any interest in weather before, come on out, and all the way up to hardcore weather nerds like me. It's a lot of fun. It's a great event.
Very cool. It's neat that they put that on so folks can learn a little bit more about severe weather. Saw a comment in the YouTube page that this is broadcasting on from Cindy. And Cindy, you mentioned that you think your MJ alert isn't registered properly. You just shoot your information over to Richard. His email is on the screen. We can look that up for you. Just let us know what phone number you have registered, and we'll check the system to see if it's registered in the system. Sometimes we see where the carrier has blocked the number or the cell phone device has blocked the number for some reason, if it was marked junk by accident or whatever. But we'll be glad to help you through that. So Cindy, just email Rich and we can help you with that. Folks, if you have any comments, just type those in wherever you're at, whether you're on X, formerly known as Twitter, or YouTube or Facebook. Rich and I are here to answer any questions you may have about the severe weather event, but the police department in general. Thankfully, we serve a wonderful community, a very safe community. Our officers work hard. Our staff inside headquarters, through our communications center, to Rich, to records, all of our support staff, care deeply about this community and work hard to protect it every day. We're thankful when we look at the numbers, especially crimes against property and crimes against persons. Those numbers, those crimes that directly affect our residents, they are the lowest here by rate than any other city around. So we definitely have a safe community, and we're grateful for that. So Cindy's asking Rich for me to put your email in the chat, so I'm going to do that right now.
Also, too, for since you're putting that in there, folks, if you happen to have a tornado shelter inside your home, please feel free to shoot me an email to let me know about your tornado shelter, because what we do with that information, we're not being nosy. We're not trying to get in your business, but it's for safety's sake. That way, if hypothetically something really bad does happen and some damage to your home happens, we know where to come look for you in your storm shelter. All I'll simply ask is, of course, your address, a contact phone number, and where your storm shelter is located, and of course, how many adults, kids, and fur babies we need to be looking for, so we know if something happens, who we need to be looking for in that emergency situation. So feel free to shoot me an email there if you have anything, a storm shelter that we need to be aware of, so we know who to look for.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, Rich, I don't see any more comments coming through, and it's Friday evening. It's Valentine's Day. And me and you are going out to patrol the street and see what we can do to support our patrol staff out there working this evening. So to everyone out there, happy Valentine's Day from our heart at MJPD to each and every one of you. We care deeply about this city and are going to do everything we can to keep it the safest city, but also protect you and keep you informed when we have these severe weather events that are forecasted for the area. We'll be monitoring it out throughout Saturday and into the weekend just to see what impacts we have. Hopefully we don't have any, but if we begin to have impacts, we'll keep you updated all over social media and our MJ Alert text system. So be safe, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. And Rich, I'll let you close it out.
Yeah, folks. Yeah. Hey, first, happy Valentine's Day to everybody, and happy Valentine's Day shout out to my sister-in-law and my nieces. Love you guys. Be safe. Take care of each other. And if something does happen, hopefully it doesn't, but if we do have a severe weather event, take care of yourself and your family and go check on your neighbors and make sure they're okay. If you need us, call us. We're always happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful week.